right, good morning, everybody out there on the coolest coast. My name is Jason Prigge, and today we've got a really special Coffee on the Coast edition. I am joined by a whole slew of creative, wonderful people that are sharing all of their talents. And we'll get to introductions in just a moment. What we're talking about today is the Wisconsin Singers Concert, this can't miss performance that's going to be Sunday, April 2nd. It'll be at Roncalli High School. And we'll have throughout the show here, it's at 3 p.m., we'll have a link or at least the website up here so you can purchase tickets. So without further ado, Abby, do you want to introduce yourself and kind of tell us what we're doing here today?
You bet. Hi, my name is Abby Pritzel, and I'm the executive producer for Wisconsin Singers. We are coming to Manitowoc this Sunday, as it was mentioned. And if you've never heard of Wisconsin Singers before, we are a pop music ensemble and live band from UW-Madison that features singers, dancers, instrumentalists into one 90-minute show, and we tour it across the Midwest. And if you haven't seen a show before, we create an original 90-minute production every year that puts together all sorts of musical genres. We have rock, country, top 40, musical theater, even some tunes from movies people will recognize. We want to have something in our show for everyone so we can appeal to all people and people can leave having tons of fun. But hearing about what we do is a lot more exciting when you get to hear it from one of the performers themselves. Our performers are actually college students, and they're majoring in everything from biology to education to engineering. Most of them are not performing majors, and that really astounds a lot of audience members. So actually today we have Trent here. He's a second-year singer-dancer from Colorado. And Trent, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself and share a little bit about how you got involved and why you're sticking around. Why is this so fun for you?
Yeah, totally. So, yep, I'm Trent Joyce. I'm a singer-dancer in the troupe this year. So we have 18 singer-dancers this year, plus about 8 people in the band that tour with us the whole season, and a few techs, so like lighting and sound in the background that keep the whole show going. So I'm a singer-dancer, so I'm one of the ones that you saw on that picture on stage. Yep, there it is. Look at that. And so, yeah, I first heard about singers just through Wisconsin's website. Like Abby said, I am from Colorado. So I was just looking into a cappella groups once I knew that I was coming. And Wisconsin Singers is on the like a cappella groups page, but it's so much more than I could have ever hoped for. Even when I auditioned, I didn't know completely what it was until my audition interview, which was actually with Abby. And so she told me what the whole season was going to be about and what the show format was, and I was blown away. I was like, that sounds like more than I could have hoped. And so I'm sticking around, like Abby asked. I'm still here because Wisconsin Singers is just the best performing opportunity that I could have in college while also doing school. I'm a computer science major, so there's a lot of school requirements that go on, and yet the best part of the week is making the time for singers. And so, like she said, our show has all of the different genres you can imagine. And so that's what makes it really exciting for us as performers, is that it never gets old because there's so many different genres and moods that we go through in a show that it's not like performing one musical over and over again where you can imagine it might get a little old. Every show has so many opportunities for diving into a new feel and new moments with everyone that it just keeps it fresh every weekend, and something that we're super excited to do. We tour all of spring semester. So all of spring semester, every weekend, we've got 2 or 3 shows all around the Midwest, even sometimes further out if we're going to hometowns of people that are nearby in the Midwest. And we even go to Florida over spring break and do a few shows down there in the villages, which is one of the highlights for us. We just got back a couple weeks ago. And so, like I said, we tour every weekend in the spring. And so it's just something to look forward to every week to keep college so energized.
And we're so pumped to be coming back to Manitowoc. I believe we've been traveling on our tour to Manitowoc since 2014. And we've had the pleasure of partnering with local organizations like Treehouse Theater and Roncalli. And the middle school musical is performing, as well as excerpts from the Treehouse musical that is about to perform later this month, I believe, at the Capitol Civic Center. So we're delighted to be able to showcase those talents. And we have Karen Rohr here today and Dan Barris to fill us in on what we might be able to see there. But I also want to mention that we get the opportunity to work with them in a workshop before Sunday's performance. We get to hopefully inspire them and teach them a little bit about our show, and then share the stage with them. So I don't know, Karen, if you want to share a little bit about what Treehouse Theater's been up to and what you guys are excited for.
Sure. I think the reason we've been helping bring singers to town is to educate our kids on opportunities beyond Manitowoc. Being a smaller city, lots of kids get a little closed-minded and don't begin to understand all the opportunities out there for them. So many of our kids have gone on to bigger and brighter things beyond high school because of the inspiration they got from a college kid that they shared lunch with, after they got to do a workshop with them, and then being able to perform for those kids you just had lunch with and get such great positive feedback and understanding that the arts is all about collaborating and supporting each other and helping each other put up shows for the community. I mean, that is why we do it. Your husband, Abby, was the reason that we got involved because he's from Manitowoc, and
Yes.
I ended up helping all 4 years that he was a singer dancer. I helped bring them to Roncalli, and then my daughter got inspired by your husband, and my daughter went to Madison and was a singer dancer for 3 years. So we're kind of roped in together, and inspiring each other and collaborating each other and helping each other make great performances on stage for audiences. That's why we are doing it.
I love it. Dan, why are you guys hosting? I know we were originally at Roncalli High School back in 2014, so it all began, I think, there.
Yeah, it began at Roncalli because your husband Taylor was a student formerly at Roncalli, so we saw it as an awesome opportunity to bring someone that a lot of our high school kids would have known at that time because they had been in school with him, and bringing the Wisconsin Singers back to Manitowoc for that got our kids invested in it. And the fact that they saw all these awesome opportunities that they have after they leave the high school was, I think, the biggest perk of this entire thing. Like Karen said, we've got lots of kids that get involved in theater here, but they don't always realize how many opportunities there are for them once they've left the school. They have the opportunity to be involved in local theater productions or performing arts for the rest of their life. And we want them to get that experience now and hopefully fall in love with the arts so that when they are pursuing their career, they can kind of keep that in the back of their mind that, hey, this could be not only a job, but maybe it'll be a hobby that I can keep with me because I learned all these awesome collaboration opportunities when I was younger. And so the fact that we can keep Wisconsin Singers coming back to Manitowoc is such a huge plus for not only for our school, for Treehouse Theater, but for the entire Manitowoc community.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't agree more. That positive impact opportunity is what we're all about. When we, after the show or at intermission, when audience members or students or kids come up to our performers and say, they're just lit up with, wow, I didn't realize this was something that I could do out there. It's what it's all about. So we're excited that we get to have that opportunity again on Sunday. And if it's anything like last year, it's going to be a packed house, super energetic, and start people's week off on the right foot for sure.
Yeah, I have to say it's really great hearing from you guys the impact that you say it has on kids. For me, one of the best parts of our show day is the clinics that we get to run with the high schoolers, middle schoolers, whoever we're working with. And so I'm one of the dance captains this year, which means I get to lead some of the workshops, and it's absolutely a highlight of the day. I wish that I would have had something like that when I was in high school. A lot of the Wisconsin Singers do have a story like that. We have a few people in the troupe that are like, yeah, ever since I did a workshop in high school or middle school with the current troupe, you know, when they were younger, they were like, I knew I wanted to audition and go to Madison, right? And so being from Colorado, obviously I didn't have singers, but really I didn't have any college group like that ever come to my high school. And I think that would have been really eye-opening. I always knew I wanted to keep music in my life. I knew I wasn't going to be able to give it up just because, you know, I was graduating high school. But being able to have seen something like that and see people that were so passionate about it, I think would have made me a lot more confident that it was going to be an option. So really great to hear from you guys that it's working.
Awesome. This is really cool. And I remember when I was in high school, the Wisconsin Singers were in touring back then, and this was during the ancient times of the 90s, right? The early 90s. But a few of my classmates, I was in swing choir, and a few of my classmates auditioned for Wisconsin Singers, and it's a pretty elite group. Can you speak a little bit to the audition process? And, you know, these kids are going to be inspired from Roncalli Middle School, from Treehouse Theater. What can they expect as far as like auditioning if for parents out there that are interested? Wow, this is really cool. I wonder if my kid could do this.
That's a great question. We're actually in recruitment season right now for our 56th season, which will take place over the summer, mounting the show. And so we have to find our next set of performers right now. So anybody who's going to be an incoming freshman at UW-Madison or the MATC or Madison College or even Edgewood, thank you. Madison-based colleges, they can come in and audition. And the whole point, even though, yes, we want to find the best and showcase that, we hope that our audition process is a learning opportunity. We want people to come in the room to be able to showcase what they can do. And always auditions are nerve-wracking, so that we can't really avoid that. But we want people, no matter what happens at the end of the day, to learn something about stepping up and singing a solo, to getting up and playing a guitar, you know, solo for feedback, to learn a couple steps in dance and get a little better and learn how they can put their best foot forward in any pursuit that they go on to in the future. But the process itself is fairly simple. You come in, prepare a solo, an up-tempo and a down-tempo, so a ballad and a fast-paced song, whether you're an instrumentalist or a vocalist, that's the same. And then, of course, because our singers also dance, we will teach a little bit of choreography to see how you do there. And then everyone goes through a short interview. We spend a lot of time with each other, and we want to make sure that everyone is ready to support each other and come in and be a team player and be there for the right reasons. So we want to get to know everyone a little bit, just as much as we want to see what they can do on the stage. Do you have anything to add, Trent, about the audition process?
Yeah, I think you mostly covered it, but really hitting home that idea that it's a very positive experience compared to, you know, a lot of auditions they're always going to be stressful. There's a lot at stake and there's a lot on the line, but I always hear from people walking out of like, oh my gosh, that was so much more supportive than I expected, not only from our side, but also it's set up as an environment that the group of people auditioning together, it's not just like, okay, one person walks into the room and has their time. Everyone's in the room together, and so everyone's rooting for each other. You know, everyone wants everyone to do great, and yeah, it's a really constructive environment that, you know, takes some of the nerves off. Like Abby said, there's no way to completely take that off, but. And then, yeah, that interview is really important. Like Abby said, we spend a ton of time together, lots of time on the bus and everything. You get to know everyone super well. And I mean, Singers is made up of some of the most driven people that I've ever met. And the way that our executive staff filters that out through those interviews is really amazing for the group and so amazing for these lifelong connections that I know I'll have for the rest of my life.
That is
Let me
so
tell
cool.
you, Jason, if you find band members, send them our way. We're looking for killer bass player, a drummer. Don't think because we're Wisconsin Singers that we don't have an awesome band. So spread the word.
I was just going to ask you what the cutoff for age was. You know, is 50 the thing? Because I could just get in there under the wire.
You bet, man. Come on in. We'll have a good time.
Yeah, maybe put me to work as a roadie. I think this is such a cool thing. So I just want to put this up because what we're talking today about is the concert. And we want to just make sure everybody gets this information. This will be on the Coolest Coast Facebook page for a while, this video. I'm also going to do a special post today with this information. It's 3 p.m. on Sunday at Roncalli High School, and you can find the tickets online there. Can people get tickets at the event as well?
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I would advise going online and getting them, because hopefully this thing will be sold out.
That's what we hope.
There you go. Yeah, we got to think positively,
Mhm.
right? So I wanted to ask Karen and Dan, how important is this to the kids? Are they excited? I mean, have they been getting pumped for this? Because if I was a small child, and when I was young once, and I think, boy, I got interested in music at a young age, probably 8 or 9 years old, started singing in church and making music and taking instrument lessons and the whole thing. And I was just excited as heck to be involved with something where older students were involved, and I could see a path to my future, right? Even if it wasn't like I'm going to be a rock star. How important is this to the kids, Karen?
So I think the kids who have attended last year share their experience with the kids who are going to be new this year, and they inspire them to make the commitment to come. It's obviously an option for our kids, since not everybody is able to attend. It's been interesting to figure out what songs I'm going to highlight based on who's available, but that's okay. Our kids are going to do a sneak peek to some songs from Shrek, which is the musical that we are working on right now. We are going to be at the Capitol Civic Center 3 weeks from now, and people would be able to see the whole show then. So we're just going to give you a sneak peek. We're not giving away Farquaad and the dragon and all the really, really, really great stuff. We're not doing costumes. I know Dan is, but we're just showing you that kids can perform to a very high level when given a great educational experience. And that's what Treehouse is about. Is we're from all different schools. Kids come from Green Bay, Sheboygan. We have kids from Reedsville that come to audition and be in shows or take classes at Treehouse, just learning about the arts. And we're just trying to inspire kids to keep arts in their life as they grow up, however you so choose. But I'll tell you, as a mom of a singer dancer, not that I didn't enjoy the songs and seeing my kid perform, the band was literally the highlight of I can't believe that non-performing, saxophone person, like, who's going to do that for his life, is performing for us as an audience. And you're just blown away at their abilities. And it's a kudos to their staff. It's a kudos to all the hours that they put in practicing to get to that point. But I mean, the whole audience is just rocking in the house. People are up dancing. They obviously do some Madison songs that make you feel like you're at a football game. It's just a really high energy experience for every audience member. And all the people that I see leaving have this huge smile on their face, and they're like, wow, for $10, I just got entertained by kids from 9 to 23, and they all just blew me away and made me happy.
That is so cool. That's so
what
awesome.
We're here for.
Yeah. Treehouse Theater is kind of the standard for young theater in town, and you guys put on amazing performance. Every time I go to one of your shows, I'm just blown away. How about you, Dan? Are the kids getting pumped for this?
Definitely. Last year was the first year that our middle school participated in this event, and as soon as the event was over, the kids were asking if we're doing it again this year, next year. And they were dancing in the seats while Wisconsin singers were performing on stage, because you teach a little bit of choreography from your show to the kids in that clinic beforehand. So the kids are up dancing around. They're pumped. They're lively. It's just an awesome show. Our kids definitely are excited to do it again this year. We had a bunch of fifth graders join our theater program this year. So they're brand new to it. And all the older kids are telling them about the Wisconsin Singers show. So the younger kids are really excited for it as well. I think it's just a great collaboration to see, like Karen said, you got 9-year-olds all the way up through 23-year-olds working together to put on a really awesome production. And I think our community is really blessed to have this opportunity.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to put this up again here. The Wisconsin Singers, along with Roncalli Middle School and Treehouse Theater. This can't miss performance is this Sunday, and it'll be at 3 p.m. at Roncalli High School. Nice, intimate theater there. So you want to get your tickets. It will probably be sold out. That place will be rocking. I can't think of a better way to spend a Sunday afternoon. Can you?
Not us. It's what we love to do.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And have fun on Sunday. I'm hoping to be there myself.
Thanks, Jason. We can't wait to come to Manitowoc.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, we'd love to have you on the Coolest Coast. It's always a treat to have such talent here join our existing talent. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks for having us.